Welcome to another edition of Winners Get Money, Season 2, Episode number 3. I'm James Myers, my boy David Rahano. Let's go. What's up, David?
Hey, what's up, everyone?
Let's get after it. All right. We're going to talk about what we saw in week 2 of college football. Already 2 weeks passed. We'll talk our best bets, recap our best bets from college football week 2. And then we had week 1 of NFL. We'll talk a little bit about NFL, what stood out, like who's maybe just a team that maybe you're like, wow, they could do a little run, even though it's super early in the season, obviously. And then we'll recap our best bets there. And then we'll do our best bets for week 3 of college football. And then week 2 of NFL. And then we'll send you on your way. And we'll try to make this short and sweet to the point. Alrighty. Week 2, college football. Biggest thing that stood out, Notre Dame losing to Northern Illinois as 28.5-point underdogs. What do you think?
Yeah, I mean, I think we kind of we talked about this I think over text, but I think we mushed them. We were saying
yeah,
Notre Dame minus 300 to make the football playoff. We're like, oh yeah, they're good. Like, congratulations, and then this happened. So,
God,
wow.
I didn't see a lot of it. I just saw more the field goal getting blocked at the end. I mean, it was like, well, they were kicking like what, a 65-yarder or something like that. They were desperate. It wasn't like it was an automatic. But you were talking about Leonard, like Riley Leonard, the quarterback. He just threw it up. Like, what was that play again?
Yeah, I think it was second and one, third and one, and you would expect him to just kind of run the ball, get the first down, keep the clock moving because like 6 minutes left at that point.
Yeah.
And no, he just throws a deep ball, incomplete, stops the clock. They end up having a punt, and that's what leads to Northern Illinois coming down the field and just essentially winning the game. So it's just,
Crazy.
I mean, I don't know if it's bad coaching or maybe just I don't know what, to be honest, what was kind of going on there, but it cost them the game, and it might cost them the playoff 2 weeks
Yeah,
in. So.
they don't have a choice. I mean, they have to win out now. I don't think they can lose another game because of how bad a loss that's
No.
going to be on their resume. Yeah, I don't know. Gosh, he's a young coach. What is his name? The coach for Notre Dame. Anyway, I noticed I kind of like him, but then there's times where I'm just like Marcus Freeman. I think last year he lost a game like they had no business losing either too, and I just maybe it also shows Texas A&M's not very good either.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean it's just because I mean they struggled with Texas A&M on the road, and like Texas A&M didn't look good, and defense still looks good, but that offense, Riley Leonard just like I think I said it like last week or 2 weeks ago, like our first episode, like just average QB and nothing really like pops off the page with him. Yeah, to me, you know. Let's go. All right, let's recap our best bets real quick for college football week 2. So I went 1-2 last week, bringing my total to 2-3 in college football for the season, first 2 weeks. I had one on Tulane plus 9.5, and then I lost to NC State plus 8.5. That wasn't even close. They got absolutely destroyed. I don't think I'll be touching them again this year. What a just absolutely disappointing. And then they got blown up by Tennessee, and then Oregon minus 20. Yeah, I don't know what to say about Oregon either. They struggled with Idaho, and they struggled with Boise State. Could have easily lost that game. Almost went to overtime. Had to have a last-second field goal to win it against Boise at home. Yeah, your best bets. Recap.
Yeah, I mean, it wasn't a good week over here at all. 0-2 for college. I too was on Oregon minus 20, and yeah, I mean, we just don't know what Oregon is at this point. I mean, they had the Civil War going on this weekend, but yeah, that was just bad. I mean, I thought they probably should have lost that game outright if it wasn't for a couple like special teams touchdowns and stuff like that, which was, it benefited them. But yeah, didn't even get close to covering that game at all. And then we had the over 59, 55.5, I guess, if we would have waited till Saturday morning with Colorado, Nebraska, and Colorado just stinks.
They're
Plain
so
and simple.
bad.
Like Nebraska did exactly kind of what we expected. The freshman QB was was looking good. They're scoring on that pretty weak. Yeah, it's a weak Colorado defense. That's pretty much what the handicap was. I just expected more out of Colorado's offense, and they didn't. So 0-2,
Yeah.
but we'll get it back this weekend.
Yeah, definitely. First couple weeks are hard, like we mentioned. You're figuring out who's who. You don't know. You honestly don't know who's who and who's really a legit team and who's kind of a pretender. Yeah, so we're gonna do our analysis more and more, and we'll look into it, and we'll get this back on track for sure. So we're gonna jump into best bets for college, right? Yeah, let's do best bets
Yeah,
for college.
we're straight into college.
And then, all right, let's get it going. We want to keep you guys waiting. We're both on Oklahoma -13 versus Tulane. We mentioned this last week in the pod that we were probably going to take Tulane against Kansas State, which we did. They covered. And then the next week, Dream Crusher kind of spot, and they go on the road to Oklahoma. I love the spot. You got a quarterback who's going to make his third ever career start for Tulane on the road in a hostile environment. I think it's going to be too much for him. I think it's going to be a really difficult position. And I think ultimately Oklahoma can cover the 13 points and win by at least 2 touchdowns here. And I think they'll put it on them a little bit. Your thoughts?
Yeah, this is probably one of my better bets of the weekend as well. You mentioned it. We talked about this. Like, part of handicapping these games is just seeing look ahead spots, looking at their schedules, kind of seeing what the motivational factors might be. And I think this, you said it. It's a total dream crusher moment. Tulane had their big game last week against Kansas State at home. I mean, it came down to them at the goal line pretty much, and if you took the points, you weren't really worried too much throughout that game because
No.
I think they were up like what 10,
I think they were
14
at 10 at
points point.
halftime. Yeah, 10 at halftime. They were
Yeah.
cruising. They
10
looked
at
good.
halftime.
They did.
They did, yeah. And then Kansas State, they're a good football team on their end too, so they came back and made it a game, and and yeah, they ended up winning in the end, and Tulane got the cover. But yeah, it's tough for Tulane to come back and get ready for another big game on the road at Oklahoma. So I think this is a pretty good spot to fade them.
Yeah. I don't see how. Yeah, I think Oklahoma should be ready for this game. I think the crowd will be roaring, rocking. Yeah, I don't really see any other things. I was just curious. I forgot who Oklahoma played last week. Was curious. Who did they have? Oh wow, they played Houston. They got a little bit of wake up call there. Wow, 16-12. But I think they got their wake up call. So maybe we're gonna catch them on the right week probably, because that's Houston's not highly rated either. But I think this will be a wake up call for Oklahoma here. Anyway, yeah, so we're on Oklahoma, guys, obviously, and I'll go. Oh, we'll do our next game. We're both on this as well. Friday night game at K-State. We are fading K-State again, and we're taking Arizona. Taking the Cats, the new Big 12 team. We're gonna go with Arizona +7 here on the road. I'll let you take it. You start with the analysis. I did the last one, so go ahead.
Yeah, this is pretty big probably game of the week. I'd probably imagine, or one of the better games of the week, I should say.
Definitely.
But this Arizona team, good offense. Like they surprised a lot of people last year. Last year the Pac-12, and a lot of people weren't expecting much out of them. Mm-hmm. And then now here they go. Transfer portal guys, a couple guys coming in, and they look pretty good. They look at the part of these first couple of weeks, and K-State. I think you'll probably go into this a little bit more, but you're not too sold on the QB that they have over there, and I think Arizona has the type of offense, to put up points. I can see this maybe going over. Worst comes to worst. Probably a tough environment going over there to what do they call it, the Little Apple out there in Manhattan.
Yeah.
So I could see that worst being down maybe like 10, 14 points late. Could get a backdoor, could get a push, but I think they can win this game outright.
Yeah, I could see that. Arizona did play Northern Arizona, and total, they only won by 12. It wasn't convincing, but I think this is like we said, like with Oklahoma, they got their wake up call. This is what we're kind of taking. We're taking their little wake up calls, and it was a total look ahead spot because they knew they had K-State next week and on the road. So I think, like I said, I love that quarterback, Fafita, I think his name is. And they have a really good, Arizona has a really good receiving core. I think McMillan, the dude, he went for like first week, he went for like almost 300 yards receiving. It was pretty nuts against New Mexico. So yeah, I think Arizona can keep up here. K-State, Arizona's probably going to give up some points, but I think I think Arizona can keep it within the number. I think this will probably come down to a last possession. I don't see really any other way around it. I think Arizona may actually have the better quarterback too. We'll see. But yeah, I like the points. I like the points you made. And yeah, we're both on Arizona +7. And then my last bet, we'll keep it going. I'm on the Bama Wisconsin game. I'm actually on the total. I'm going to take the under 49.5 here. I think it's going to be a bunch of ground and pound. Wisconsin's going to play good defense in the beginning. I think Bama will play good defense. I'm not impressed with Bama right now after how they looked against South Florida. No Saban. I know that's kind of what everyone's saying, but I just wasn't impressed. There wasn't a lot of points in that game against South Florida. They turned on late. I mean, I think it was like 10-6 in the third quarter, and then they put up a little bit more. They put up 42 on them, but I don't think I don't think that this offense with Milroe is like overpowering right now. I think they still need a couple more weeks, kind of like what they did last year. Last year that it took them like probably midway till the season where this offense actually started clicking. So I think that's kind of the same spot here, and I think Wisconsin's at home. That's why I also like the under. If Wisconsin's going to keep it close, they're going to play hard nosed defense, and it's going to be a lot of ground and pound. You're going to see a lot of punts probably, and yeah. So I'm on that. Any thoughts on that?
Yeah, I mean, I would lean that way as well. I think this will be, a lot of clock just being ran the whole game, and I mean, yeah, I mean, Bama did struggle last week with South Florida, and I think they scored like 21 or 28 unanswered in that fourth quarter to make that score look a little bit more misleading than it was. But
Yeah.
South Florida, they were in it. They were in it through the first half. So I mean, could be just maybe Bama's not trying to show too much, or maybe a little bit of a look ahead. I mean, not that Wisconsin's top 25, but I mean, going to Wisconsin, I mean, it's pretty ruckus crowd and all that. So maybe they're just kind of getting ready for a game out there. But yeah, I mean, 49.5 just seems kind of a lot here.
Yeah. They were only up 14-13 going into the fourth quarter. They put up 28 in the fourth. So a little bit I don't think you're going to get that same explosion in the fourth. So yeah, your other best bet, Dave.
Yeah, this is actually more of a lean. I think we'll just go with two best bets. We'll go with the lean here. Boston College +16 at Missouri. I mean, I think we kind of talked about this maybe the first week of our podcast, but we're pretty high on Missouri this year, and yeah, I mean they have all the tools to make a run at the college football playoff or whatever it might be. But this Boston College team kind of impressed me. I mean, we don't really know what Boston College is just because we think we know what Florida State is, and we don't really know.
Yeah,
we'll find out more this weekend if Florida State maybe they have that week to kind of think about those first two losses they had of the year, and so I mean it'll be kind of like an eye test to see there, but I mean it'll be an eye test here to see Boston College. We kind of liked what we saw with the quarterback, the Castellanos. A little bit like Kyler, I think you were kind of mentioning, and he could run a little bit, and Bill O'Brien looks like he has been playing hard early, so I can see them keeping it within 2 touchdowns here. But I could also certainly see Missouri just kind of run away with this game as well. But I'm going to trust BC here to keep it within 16.
Yeah, I like it too. I think BC has the college. They have the offense to keep up. They are coming off. Okay, yeah, I mean they played a little tune-up game before this one against Duquesne, 56-0. So the offense is putting up points. Yeah, I think BC can keep it within 16. Missouri, yeah, they're feeling good. Maybe they'll look ahead a little bit. But I like where that's at. I think what does Missouri have next week? I think I have Vanderbilt. Nothing special, but yeah, no, I think BC's offense is good enough to keep it within the number. And Missouri will probably win at home. I don't see them really getting upset. Maybe like they did against Florida State. BC's got that experience now too on the road in a top 25 environment against Florida State. So yeah, I think they keep within a number. I like that play as well. That lean, I should say. All right, with that, let's jump to NFL Week 1. Anything stand out to you in Week 1? What do you think?
I'd say probably not what stands out. It's just use rookie QBs
Yeah.
kind of first start getting under the belt. I mean, no one really impressed, to be honest. So that's probably maybe the main takeaway here. I mean, we'll get into how the Bears ended up winning and covering, but yeah, that I mean, starts
What
there.
about? I'd say
Bengals.
yeah, that's what I was gonna say. Bengals definitely the biggest standout. I saw a rant today on one of those FS1 shows. James Jones, he was like the old receiver for the Packers when Rodgers was there. And like he was just like, he's like, are we all like, is anyone gonna question Joe Burrow when he doesn't have his big receivers? Has anyone noticed he doesn't play well when he does his big receivers? So I was just like, I don't know, man. I like Burrow, but it's just I thought it was interesting. But obviously it's probably more clickbait, but we'll see. Yeah, I'd probably go Bengals, biggest standout. Yeah. I just nothing really
Yeah,
else really
I
jumped
mean,
off where I was like, what? Yeah.
yeah, I think like 40, no, maybe it was like 30% of like the NFL Survivor contest. They
Yeah.
all had the Bengals, and they're wiped out after week 1.
Goodbye.
So, yeah, Bengals. Yeah, they did a number on a lot of people. There's $1,000 entries in these Vegas circa Survivors just gone within the
That's
first week.
crazy after
So.
1 week. All right. Well, sorry. Let's get into let's recap our NFL week 1. I went 1-2. I went all dogs. I had Arizona, they covered, won on that. And then I lost in the Titans points. And then I'll save it. I'll wait. And then I lost in the Jets points. Yeah, Jets got worked by the Niners on Monday Night Football. So, yeah, I went 1-2. Dave, your recap on your NFL bets?
Yeah, I went 2-1. I was with you on Arizona points.
Yep.
We're on the under in that Minnesota game, and then yeah, I lost the Titans as well. Do you want to talk about that Titans game?
Yeah, that's what I was waiting for you to get through yours. 100. I can't even get through it. 150 yards of offense by the Bears, no touchdowns, and they won 24-17, down 17-0. They had what? A blocked punt, a pick six, a 2-point conversion, and I forgot what the other thing was. Was it another pick six? Or was it I forget. Kickoff? I think did they have a kickoff return?
It was a special team, so I want to say.
Yeah. But just sorry losing it. But yeah, Caleb Williams didn't really impress. I wasn't impressed. I saw it also yeah, the receiving core. I mean, he's got to get him the ball, but they're already a little banged up. I already saw Keenan Allen's on the injury report, and Roman Dunze's out week to week. So not a surprise with Keenan. But yeah, just Will Levis doing too much. I think they had a 17-point lead. Defense was playing out of their minds for Tennessee. Like Tennessee's defense played really well in that game, and your quarterback goes and just shoots you guys in the foot. I just don't understand, man. Explain it to me why QBs sometimes they just don't just take the sack. You have the lead and just punt the football. Your defense is playing good, but no, we got to try and make a play. We got to do the heroic for a 2-yard fucking gain. Sorry, excuse the language. Just angers me. We got to try and flip it out when you're probably just going to get a 2-yard gain and you're going to punt anyway. Like, I just don't understand it sometimes. It's just, it just annoys me. But yeah, anyway, your thoughts?
Yeah, I mean, you pretty much said it best. Like it's just one of those you sit there and just kind of shake your head. 17-0 lead, 17-3 at the half, and then it just all falls apart. And yeah, I mean, there's probably gonna be the worst beat of the year.
Yeah,
it's week 1,
it's up
but
there.
I bet you there'll be another one that's even worse.
Yeah,
It'll
happen. It'll happen.
But yeah, and then yeah, just based off that game, I mean, we'll probably go into it with our best bets, but we'll probably be looking to fade the Bears until they
Yeah.
kind of prove they can do something on offense.
Yep. Yeah, let's jump into it. Speaking of that, right on cue. Let's go for our week 2 NFL best bets. Start us off. I went last on college.
Okay. Yeah, so we'll just go right into that Texans Bears game.
Oh,
Um, that's going to be Texans -6 Sunday Night Football. And yeah, I mean the Texans, they didn't cover last week either. They had a pretty, back and forth game with the Colts, but home game here for them. I can see them, winning by more than a touchdown here. It just comes back down to the Bears, 127 or 147 yards of offense in
150.
week
Yeah.
one.
Yeah, something like that.
And just see about 150. So that just the injuries are already starting to mount up. I mean, Caleb Williams, it'll probably take him, a couple of weeks to kind of, get more, being an NFL quarterback under his belt. Texans are good, high expectations as well, and I just look for them to be at home and kind of win comfortably here, in front of national television. So
yeah, I like it as well. I'm on this game as well with you. I like it. Primetime spot, home opener for Houston. Big expectations, like you mentioned. Bears offense hasn't shown anything. First ever true road start in the NFL for Caleb Williams is on primetime. Offense wasn't sharp until, like you said, they proved something. Rome Odunze's hurt. Keenan Allen's hurt on the injury report. Both did not practice today. Give me the Texans all day. Williams, who's he going to throw to besides DJ Moore? Houston's defense, yeah, it's not the greatest, but if you got 2 other receivers out, lock up DJ Moore and maybe Cole Kmet will get some looks, but it's just I think they're going to key in on. I think Bears are probably going to key in on running the ball more in this game on the road with DeAndre Swift. So I think Houston will be able to take that away, and I think they cover here. And I think Houston's offense is a lot better than, obviously it's not a question. It's like they're better than Tennessee, and Bears were giving up, like Levis was moving the ball a little bit. Like he was moving the ball a little bit on these guys. So I don't see how Houston doesn't do it at home. And I think it's just too big of a spot as well for Williams. So let's jump. I'll go with the next one since you started us off. My next best bet is going to be, I'm going to go Rams +1 against the Cards. Don't get me wrong, I do like my Cards. I pull for that team. I don't know why. I dig them because they're just such a low market team. But this spot is it's too tough. The only reason it's too tough for me, like I have to take the Rams here. Here's a stat for you guys, and this is why you should take the Rams. McVay in his career, since he's been the coach of the Rams, is 13-2 against the Cards, and he's 12-2-1 against the spread against Arizona. Literally, the guy just has their number. I don't know how and why, but he just does. Like, he doesn't lose to the Cardinals. It's so rare. They don't. I think the last time Arizona beat the Rams was when the Rams were like switching through quarterbacks, like Baker made a start that year. I think that's the last time they beat them, and that was a few years ago now. So it's just rare. They don't do it. I liked how Stafford looked, Kupp looked good. Nakua's out, yeah, but the offense can still move the ball without him. Kyron Williams, they got other guys. McVay's one of the best offensive guys in the league too. I don't see how that will affect. And the Rams D, they can get after you a little bit. I noticed secondary is not the brightest, but I think they win the game outright. I mean, +1, they win the game. It's even money, right, on the money line. Yeah. So I'm on the Rams here. Your thoughts?
I mean, at first glance, I actually did kind of look towards the Cards, but then after we kind of broke down the game, and it's like you can't really fade these trends. McVay just is one of those guys. If he has the Cards number, he has their number.
Yeah.
So I just feel like based off all that, it's probably a good time to to back the Rams here too. And they didn't look bad on Sunday Night Football. I mean, a couple of mistakes here, guys, running out of bounds before the 2 minutes or staying in bounds. Like that's probably what was the difference in the game there. They go into overtime and they're just getting Montgomery just ran down their throats. But
yeah, sorry if you had Rams points, folks, as well. Yeah. That was mean. That was very mean.
But yeah, so I mean, after all that, yeah, I think Rams. I mean, it's pretty much a pick 'em. If I had to pick, um, I would have to go with the Rams here, even money.
Yeah. Okay, your next pick in NFL.
Yeah, we're gonna go Baltimore
Okay.
-9 at home against the Raiders. Um, I kind of like what I saw from the Ravens Thursday night. You know, if Lively's foot is 2 sizes smaller, it'd be the tie that game probably at the end of the game. Um, so yeah, I mean, I like what I saw from the Ravens, and then from the Raiders, I didn't see anything on that offense. Minshew's throwing these dink and dunks, little
Yeah.
wheel routes,
Yeah.
5 yard slants. Like there was just nothing with that offense, and I feel like the Raiders kind of want to be you know the team that they're expecting. I mean, no one's really expecting them to do much this season, but I
No.
just feel like Minshew's not going to be your answer here. And yeah, I mean Baltimore, they kind of like to run to score against these bad teams,
At home too.
like at home too. So I mean, the Raiders defense did look pretty good against the
Yeah.
Chargers last week. Um, but I just didn't see a lot from the Chargers offense either. So I mean, it's early to tell. After week one, this is only like stats that we have, but um, maybe this Raiders defense isn't as good as the stats said. I mean, towards the end of the game, they're just trying to get worn down. And they're giving up these big plays, and the Chargers
Mhm.
kind of they took advantage of those of just the Raiders being on the field so much too.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, I mean, I know 9 points is a lot to lay in the NFL, but I feel comfortable laying it here.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree. I won't be on it, but I would take Baltimore if I had to take a team in this. I think yeah, this is what Baltimore does at home. Some reason they're just juggernauts at home. Especially against the weaker teams, like the bottom of the league teams. Yeah, like you said, they like to blow teams out. They don't take it easy. They don't take it lightly. Also, Baltimore had more time to prepare for this game. They played on Thursday night. I like that as well. And like you said, I just think this Raiders defense will get worn down. I think it'll be tight, maybe first half. I think Max Crosby and Wilkins looked really good. I don't think that was a fluke. Those guys are elite players on the D line. So I think they'll give Lamar a little bit of problems in the beginning. But like you said, I think they'll get worn out running the ball with Lamar, little pop pass, read options all day. That defense will get tired. Oh, Lamar tires you out, because you got to account for so many things with him. So yeah, I think Baltimore eventually, like third quarter, will start pulling away and they cover this number. Yeah, kind of with you on that. And then my last play is I'm gonna go Tampa Bay +7 in Detroit. Uh yeah, this is a little revenge spot for Tampa from last year in the playoffs. My wedding day. I remember that watching in the groom suite. Yeah, dude. Yeah, I think Tampa Bay's offense is good enough to keep this within a touchdown. I do. Baker looked great. I like Bucks should have so much confidence going into this game. I don't see how they don't. Remember, Detroit just played overtime. Gonna be a little tired. Sunday night, too. It wasn't like a regular day game. Sunday night football, overtime, hard. That was a hard fought game against the Rams. I gotta look at injury report because I think Detroit did get a couple guys banged up on defense as well. I don't see how I think Tampa Bay is healthy on offense going into this. Evans, Godwin, Otten, the tight end, and then White at running back. Baker's playing good ball. Yeah, I think Detroit will put up points, but I think Tampa Bay will keep up with them, and I think they keep within 7. In a dome, don't have to worry about weather as well. So, your thoughts?
Yeah, I mean, I would lean this way as well. I think Tampa Bay is going to be one of those teams that kind of surprises a lot of people this year. People are really buying into Baker Mayfield. I guess he just had a kid, he's a dad now, so a lot of people are saying how mature he came in to this training camp and everything, and just people just keep speaking highly of him. Offensive line looks good. I mean, defensively, when they the defense was saying that when the offense was going out there and running their plays, there's a lot of like schemes, a lot of packages that look very similar. So it's really hard to see what the Bucks were running on offense. So all those things just kind of leads to good signs. And then last week they came out and they beat Washington pretty handily. Who knows kind of what Washington's going to be this year, but for now, I mean, just Tampa Bay just looks pretty good, and I can see them for sure just keeping this within 7.
Yeah, I think they might catch a little bit of a tired Detroit team from a Sunday night overtime game. We'll see. Your last best bet.
Oh yeah, last bet it's gonna be the Colts -3 going to Green Bay. This is a little bit of a fade of Malik Willis, just because
Yeah,
we've seen a lot of him or enough of him to know
yeah,
that he's not the greatest backup quarterback out there. The Colts, they ended up losing by 2 to the Texans last week at home, but we saw that stat where the Colts haven't won a week 1 game in now
it's
11
insane.
years.
Yeah,
Been 11 years, so but aside from all that, I mean the Colts look good. Um, you know, Richardson, he just see that one play where he threw like a
oh, dude,
80-yard bomb. It
yeah,
was
it's insane.
Yeah, like he has that ability, to make those big throws. He does struggle a little bit with accuracy. He'll still miss, throws that he shouldn't be missing.
Hmm.
But overall, he's a playmaker. He can run, he can, throw those bombs, and yeah, I just think the Colts here -3. I mean, they are going to Lambeau. I feel a little bit different about this game if it was later on, colder
Hmm.
weather in Green Bay or traveling to Green Bay. But I mean, week 2 I think is a good spot, and Willis only has a week to prepare.
Yep,
So, and they just came back from Brazil, the
yep.
jet lag. Who knows how much they practiced by the time they got back? Like, yeah, it was a Friday night game, but you get back to the States Saturday sometime,
Hmm.
probably have Sunday off. Monday, you're probably, watching film. So a little bit, early distractions, I would say. It's kind of similar to those teams going out to London every year too. So yeah, I look for the Colts here -3.
Yeah, I definitely like the Colts here as well. Like fading Malik Willis. I mean, like you've said in the past, like, hey, if Malik Willis beats me, so be it. Like with other quarterbacks where you're like not high on and going into games, it's like what you're getting with Malik Willis. If he beats me, so what? I think Colts will probably force a couple turnovers. Um, I don't see how they don't because Malik Willis can either it's going to be a bunch of turnovers or there's going to be a bunch of punts by Green Bay. I don't see a lot like where I can't see in my mind where he just goes down and moves the ball down the field with ease. Like I just can't. I don't see it. And I think the Colts win by more than 3, probably win by a touchdown. I'm going to say, and they go on and cover. So yeah. Anything else in that game or any other thoughts? Got a few. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, no other thoughts in the NFL. I mean, it's early to kind of see what these teams are, but
Mhm.
as the leagues go on, we kind of start to see the true colors of these teams. But
Did you have a big money line dog? Or
I can find one for us real quick.
yeah, just something
Uh,
tasty for the betters.
yeah, because I mean, we'll see it. I mean, last week it was the Patriots money line. I mean, every one of these weeks, even in college, NFL, one of these dogs end up winning outright. It's just
Yeah.
trying to find the right one is always the
Hmm.
issue, or it's like, oh, I wish I would have had that game or this game, but um, let's take a quick look at NFL. I'll give you guys an NFL one for sure. Um, if I had to choose, I mean, Tampa Bay for sure. I think
Yeah.
they're a live dog. Um, Minnesota, I don't think maybe they're at home. Darnold,
Yeah.
like what we saw, but
Didn't you like UNLV?
I did like a little bit UNLV on the college side. I think they're plus 250.
Yeah,
They
250.
yeah, so they play Friday night as well
Mhm.
at Kansas. A lot of Kansas had a lot of turnover from kind of what I've heard, so a lot of turnover there. And UNLV, they were pretty good last year. They're like the program's a little bit on the up.
Yeah.
You have a good offense. They're 2-0 to start off, so I can for sure see them going into Kansas and kind of making it a game and possibly winning money line. I mean, you see how it is in college. You have Notre Dame, but 35-point favorites
Yeah,
losing outright. It happens every week.
it does.
So
Alrighty. There's David's picks, UNLV and Tampa Bay for college and NFL for money line bets. Yeah. We'll see if one of those can hit, make some people some money. Yeah, that's it for our episode. Again, check us out at Winners Get Money on X, Twitter, whatever you want to call it. Our YouTube at Winners Get Money and our TikTok at Winners Get Money. We'll be putting our plays out as well with our links. We expect a way better week this week. First couple weeks, don't panic, guys. We expect a lot better now weeks going forward for sure. We expect a good, profitable season for football this year.
yeah, it's a
Anything else?
marathon. It's a
Yeah.
marathon, not a sprint. So
Yeah.
um, be able to better pick your spots as the season goes on, and you just gotta get past and keep your bankroll for these first couple of weeks, and then just keep fighting, and we'll for sure find more winners that are be a lot more clear than what we had last week. That's for sure.
Yeah. Alrighty. It's gonna do it for us. Winners get money again. Check us out, guys. All right. Take it easy.